Hello everyone, Burb here. Just a quick video today. I'm trying to get the Aquarius Cup overview out tomorrow. I'm putting some finishing touches on it. And I brought out the scratchpad template because this video is going to be more talking about mindset than math. And it's a topic that I think other people have realized too. But Aquarius Cup does have a small problem, and that problem is the release of Make a New Track. Currently, the estimates on uma.moe state that the Aquarius Cup's going to start at March 5th, and the Narita Top Road banner, which is going to have Admire Vega SR, as we said, that's going to start on March 8th. And it's believed that that banner is going to kick off the Make a New Track scenario. Now, if you know this, the registration period is usually about 3 days, and so this means our worst case scenario is that Cygames decides to keep this schedule to a T, and Make a New Track will be released on Group 1, Day 1, which means we will pretty much the entire Champions meeting is going to be in Mant. Now, my normal guidance is to follow my anti-frustration plan that I follow, and part of that plan is stop making your aces at the registration period for the previous Champions meeting. I've gone back and forth in this for this one because Make a New Track UMAs will be stronger, especially in stats in particular, as well as skill points for your actual skills, because you're going to be racing a lot more and be able to release a lot more. But even if the worst case scenario happens, I don't think stopping at the registration period is a bad idea for your sanity and for your mindset. And perhaps it may be better to try a couple runs in Mant as you're learning, and it's a good framework to have a goal when you're learning Mant to try to make your CM UMAs for Aquarius Cup. But you should at least have a backup in terms of you should already have everything set by that point and make it a bonus. There's a couple ways to mitigate this frustration, because this would be deviating from the anti-frustration plan, because you'd be making aces late and on short notice. The first is, of course, you need to care less about results. At the end of the day, this is just a game that we're playing. It's one CM, there's plenty more in the future. And I know the initial thought for a lot of people, and some people are like this, I'm like this myself, when I say this, just care less, right? It immediately just makes you angry. And I perfectly understand that. So if you're that type of person, I have a bunch of other ways that we can mitigate it. So let's keep moving. If you care less about the result, you can just run what you have and just see how they fare. The second thing is just make great aces. Spend the time to make good aces now. This has happened before. It was a little to less extent, but the Leo Cup, if you recall, when we had the base scenario, had the release of Alharu Unity Cup. And I didn't know as much as I do now. I still don't know everything, of course, but I didn't know like anything back then. And so I was like, oh, hey, this is an opportunity for me to make a Unity Cup UMA, right? And so I made this amazing John Uma Musume Cinderella Gray that I ended up rolling Disaptitude S and had just like more stats than everybody, because Unity Cup had so much more potential for stats than base scenario. And then A finals hit. I ended up actually qualifying for A finals like before I even made this character. And then A finals hit, and I was like, oh, cool, I have this Ogre recap that's going to be like ridiculous. I believe it was actually my first CM win. The one who won it was my vodka that I made like freaking the first week. And the only thing that happened was, hey, a pre-buffed Nimble Navigator actually procced on frame 1. I picked it up because I had no idea what I was doing. And a Slick Surge procced on frame 1, like the first possible timing for both of them. The point I'm making with this is that this was a medium CM, and my freaking random late surger just won, like, because of the skills. And honestly, this is a mile CM, so it's even more chaotic than the medium CMs. And the reason why it's chaotic is because the skills just matter more than the stats. And Make a New Track, you're going to be able to get more skills because you're going to get more skill points, right? But it's just the quality of skills that you're going to be able to hit. So Characters like Taiki Shuttle and Agnes Digital, who have a ton of skills just built in already, if you just focus on adding a couple more races to make sure you get all the very good skills, sure, it's a little less consistent, but you're still going to have an absolutely formidable Uma. Like, having Mile Maven on a character is just ahead of pretty much everyone else there until the Taiki Shuttle cards comes out that gives it to everybody. But taking this into consideration and building Umas that have things that are more eternal into the next scenario means that you'll have the skills that you need, and you just won't have, like, you know, an additional straight skill that's maybe nice and give you a bit more consistency, but you're going to have, as long as you have the skills that can make you win, you always have a chance. That's all I'm trying to say on this point. The third thing is you make great parents. I'm going to have a series, I think, after I finish all these guides about how do you make parents without absolutely hating your life? Because let's be honest, it feels really bad to do a run and not have an end goal that's like tangible, and just be like, hey, I'm just trying to do another roll on this RNG simulator, essentially. Like, I'm just trying to roll at the end, like, and say, hey, do I roll the 3-star blue spark, the 3-star pink spark, and a bunch of whites? I think that's a little too mind-numbing, so there's a method I'll go through. But if you focus on making great parents just from your aces too, like, as you're going along, making sure you have everything figured out and you've categorized them and ready, what you're going to find is that when the time comes that Mant releases, you're going to be ready to at least take a chance or a gamble on getting your distance S, getting your, you know, your acceleration S, you know, your style S, stuff like that, by having good pink sparks in your parents on your way. And yes, like I said in previous videos, the fourth one, the final point I'll probably make, is just take what you get when the Mant scenario comes out. If you do decide to try to roll and do your daily borrows, let's say, what you don't want to do is you don't want to spend all your TPs just burning yourself out, running 25 runs trying to get the absolute most, the absolute best Uma you could possibly get. This is not the time for that. Run your borrows if you want to, but remember that, like, if you have max pink sparks, which no one does, it's still a 36% chance of failure. And because it depends if it's what's on the grandparents or the parents, it changes. But even at 12 relevant pink sparks and 100 affinity, it's greater than 50% chance that you won't get a distance S, and you won't get a you won't get a distance S or, you know, dirt S, etc. And so just accept what the game gives you. You running your old Umas is still going to give you a decent chance. So, hey, just take it as another little bit of fun to do, I guess. If it's not fun for you to do, don't do it. That's pretty much the conclusion. It's very easy to frustrate yourself when you're trying to min-max. And when you're min-maxing with pressure, in anything in life, really, whenever you add pressure or a time constraint as close as like a few days, 1, you start making more mistakes. 2, you frustrate yourself. And 3, you start finding physical and mental effects that can lead you down paths that essentially will have lasting damage, I guess. So, take a break, take a breather. The Umas you make now may not be 100% optimal. They're still perfectly fine. All right, everyone enjoy their day. Gonna have the Aquarius CM overview out tomorrow. All right. Good luck. We're about.